We want to understand most businesses, they feel like their sales and marketing efforts are not yielding the results that they are looking for.
There could be various number of situations there to look at. But I think the biggest problem in what I've observed is that it's actually a question to say, what is it that are we measuring?
Okay.
Because at times the frustration might be brought by measuring the wrong things.
Right.
So it might not necessarily be that there's anything wrong with the efforts themselves. Marketing isn't about selling your product.
All right.
Marketing isn't about advertising
All right.
your services or your business. It isn't even about advertising that bread of yours. Marketing is about, it isn't about talking about our businesses.
All right.
And that's where I think a lot of people might feel that, but then how then do we get to get ourselves known out there? But at the end of the day, it's about.
And today I'm not alone once more. I'm having my core team member here, Mr. Mabusela. How are you, sir?
I'm alright, man.
How have you been keeping up?
No, man. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep moving. The grind is on.
Yeah. Yep. No, thank you. Yeah, today we're just gonna be hitting the road running. We want to understand, most businesses, they feel like their sales and marketing efforts are not yielding the kind of results that they are looking for.
Sure.
You understand? As a matter of fact, sales and marketing at times is treated like that magic one. The expectation towards the activities of sales and marketing at times can be very funny.
Sure.
Because by the reason of talking sales marketing, what comes to mind to business owners, to marketing managers is that the kind of money that I'm putting in, or the kind of effort that I'm putting in, surely it has to yield some sort of returns that I want.
Right.
And most of the time there is a misalignment, and we are of the view that there's just that element of that brand alignment that needs to take place first.
Sure.
Before one can really benefit from the efforts of marketing.
Sure.
There's need that brand alignment, which is strategized correctly for anyone to be able to get money's worth in their sales and marketing efforts.
Sure.
But now, take me through, why would a business, according to you, why would a business or a sales marketing team feel that, their efforts are not yielding the kind of results? What could be the missing link, according to your understanding, when you're talking brand?
Sure.
What could be the missing link for any marketing effort or sales effort not to yield the kind of efforts that a business needs? I'm saying needs because every business would like to have an ROI to every funds or capital that they put in. So what could be the cause of that frustration when you're talking sales and marketing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there could be various number of situations there to look at. But I think the biggest problem in what I've observed is that it's actually a question to say, what is it that are we measuring?
Okay.
Because at times, the frustration might be brought by measuring the wrong things.
Yeah, all right.
So it might not necessarily be that there's anything wrong with the efforts themselves.
Yeah.
But is that we are measuring the wrong thing, and therefore we tend to feel that the effort are giving us the kind of results that we were not expecting.
Yeah.
And I think the first starting point is asking yourself that question.
All right.
Each and every marketing activity that we do as a business, what is it that are we measuring?
All right.
If you're putting up a video, you're creating content, what are you actually measuring as a success measure of that content? Is it views? Is it likes? Is it comments? Is it the click through? Is it the follow through of it? So or is it even the kind of engagements that you get post that
Yeah.
piece of content. So I think at the end of the day, we have to ask and answer this first question: what is it that are we measuring? And
All right.
only then can we then say, are we even justified to feel the way we are feeling? Because sometimes you are measuring the wrong thing and you are doing the opposite.
Expecting, yeah.
So then it is bound for you to feel to have that kind of feeling. So let's start there.
Mm-hmm. So you have to have a measuring.
What measuring stick are we using? There's different measuring mechanisms,
Okay.
And if it's more performance centric, more performance driven, you can measure it easily like that. But now if you're talking the opposite of that now, which is brand, if then we are talking trust. If the goal of us as a business is to create content so that we can build trust with audiences, then the question becomes, what is our standard of measure, or what is the measuring stick of trust? How do we know if that piece of content is actually helping us to build trust?
All right. Then so you're saying that those measuring sticks,
Yes.
or those measures that has to be in place.
Yes.
Who comes up with those measures? I want that, because a typical business would be like, no, guys, I'm having a list of products that I'm selling, or services that I have.
Right.
And make sure that you make posts and you send the word out there. You call and sell our product or services. Eventually the sales team will have targets to say you need to send these emails, cold calling, do all those things. But in your case, what you are saying is that every marketing or sales effort has to have an outcome, an intended outcome, which is a measure.
Yeah.
So that then activities which will be aligning with that will be able to correlate this to say, did we achieve the target that we intended to?
Yeah, I think, as I said, it is very important having that, I'd call it a success measure.
Okay.
Is to say, if I do a piece of video content, maybe whether it's a talking head or it's just any type of video content, and distribute it out there, how will I know if that video was a success? So that's a question that I need to ask. As I've said, you can use those simple metrics like views, likes, and whatnot, which I view them as vanity metrics. Just because people viewed my content does not necessarily mean that it was any meaningful or impactful to them. But then they could be good indicators in terms of how well that piece of content is received in that particular platform. So so basically it's important as a business. That is our success measure, to say we have to ask ourselves, upon any activity or marketing activity that we embark on, we have to ask ourselves, how do we measure when this is a success?
Okay.
Before we even bring in any agencies, or that is because of that's what it's more, that's what we care more about as a business. And the agency or the creators will have what they care about, but at the end of the day, it is us who have to determine what is our success metric.
You causing me to want to stay on this point. And I actually want to move on to another point. Okay, because I started by saying a lot of businesses, they feel like they're failing.
Sure.
They feel like they're failing when it comes to sales and marketing.
Yes.
So then you're introducing measures to say, no, there are metrics, there are measures that one still needs to go and align themselves with in order to actually confirm whether they're failing or they're not failing when it comes to sales and marketing.
Right.
So let's stick to this one. can you then unpack for me
Right.
what could be the standard practice that you'd advise on measuring? I have a business.
Sure.
I have a bakery business, for example.
Yes.
I'm selling bread. We've been doing some sales and marketings for our brand or for our bread, but we just seem not to be hitting the kind of, or we are hitting our targets, but we also feel, is there something other than what, is there anything else out there that can take us to another level other than, because we want to move into what I would call a demand-driven kind of set, because if we believe we are selling something of value, then we think that when we beyond our sales and marketing, there needs to be that demand. There needs to be that demand for our product or services from the outside. So how do you maybe take us through as to how do we fix our sales and marketing if we're in that position?
Yeah, I think firstly, those two, sales is a different discipline on its own.
All right.
Marketing is a total discipline on its own, and marketing is not sales.
Mm-hmm.
Sales is a component of marketing.
Okay.
So, and I think the biggest problem is how we go about marketing, or our approach as businesses, how we go about marketing. And understandably, you don't know what you don't know, but I think a lot of it, the obsession around performance-driven marketing, measuring our marketing purely on the basis of ROI, that also I think is part of the contributing factors why as businesses we find ourselves in the situation where we have to navigate all these ideas and situations. But I think what's more important there is about, and I think this is the emphasis when it comes to marketing, that marketing isn't about selling your product.
All right.
Marketing isn't about advertising your services or your business. It isn't even about advertising that bread of yours. Marketing is about, it isn't about talking about our businesses.
All right.
And that's where I think a lot of people might feel that, but then how then do we get to get ourselves known out there? But at the end of the day, it's about, I like how Seth explains this, that marketing is about creating the conditions for people to eagerly want, to associate with what your business or your brand is all about.
All right.
That's what marketing is. It's about creating those conditions for people to eagerly. You're not persuading anyone.
All right.
You are creating the conditions so that those people out there who see themselves in that kind of story, they will bring themselves or put themselves in that story. So the question then we have to ask as a business is that, what are those conditions? How do we create those conditions as a bakery for people to eagerly want the bread that we are here to serve, and if that we believe that this bread has value.
All right.
We have to create those conditions for people to want to associate. Now that it takes more than just a video or a piece of content talking about your business. A lot of other things has to be aligned. How you do business. How's your customer service. Pretty much
the whole brand.
The whole brand. What as a business, what are your values? What are you known for? What are you against? What are the things that you you are advocating for as a
Right.
business, and all of those things form an association that that is part of those conditions that you are creating, so that people and those people that you as a bakery business feel that this bread is made for them, they will eagerly want that bread.
So that is marketing.
That is what marketing is.
Yeah.
Unconventional.
Yeah.
And most likely that's not even what other agencies out there would even teach you. But at the end of the day, that is what actually the true essence of meaning of marketing. We have turned this as businesses. We have turned this as a way of talking about ourselves. Looking at social media.
Yeah.
The primary purpose of these platforms, today it's no longer social because of it's flooded with sales content. People are just selling.
Yeah.
Business are just talking about themselves. Generally, when I go on social media, I personally go there just to relax and connect with people and just sort of wind down, from a stressful day at work and so forth. But now there's that touch that is lost.
All right.
Because when you get there, this one's talking about himself, that one's talking about himself, that one's talking about themselves, and I feel like, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong space here, and I go on. So it's about that to say people want to feel understood.
Yeah.
So what is it that are we doing as a company to create those conditions where the people that we want to serve this bread, they feel that this bread is rightfully theirs. That we are positioned well to understand them, and inadvertently, sales happens there.
All right, sales happens there.
Yeah.
You have unpacked just a new dimension of understanding, and maybe as you're talking, I get to really connect. I'm connecting with what you are saying,
right?
Because I've started by saying we are here to unpack.
Yes.
The biggest question is to say why people feel like them sales and marketing is failing.
Yes.
It's not yielding the kind of results that they are looking for. The point that I'm taking there is that, firstly, you've attended so well to the marketing part of things.
I want to come in.
Yeah.
We have set up a business. We've decided to bake bread, and then from there we decided we want to take this bread to the people. That's the wrong start. Because first of all, what informs you that people even want that bread? You don't even know people want that bread.
Yeah.
So there's so much of the people, which is the customer, that we have left out in marketing. And no wonder that the frustrations.
Yeah.
You don't understand the people that you are trying to sell this bread.
Yeah.
And therefore you try gimmicks and all sorts of tactics to try to convince the people to buy bread.
That's right.
So when people don't buy bread, you come up with all ways to persuade people. Man, doing life, and I'm not just saying business, just doing life on that premise where you have to persuade somebody to take or believe in your idea.
Yeah.
It's the most frustrating.
That's right.
And no wonder.
And the most expensive.
Okay. So even business, it's about, and I said this, how much of our audience do we know and understand? Only then, do we need to create products or offerings that actually address so it's about, so the frustration in the end of the day is brought in by that aspect where you have decided and you are deciding for people, and when people don't respond based on what you've decided for them, it brings back that frustration.
Right.
So
I was going to ask, but I wanted to find out, I think based on what you've said, you've attacked well, you've unpacked well the kind of marketing that needs to be or kind of what marketing needs to be understood as. Ne?
Right.
Then you align that. Once that is done,
Right.
sales.
Yes.
You know, can you just link the two? Because according to you, it's not sales and marketing basically. It's marketing. it's your marketing.
Right.
And then sales comes after. You understand? Sales happens easier because of there's that an understanding of what marketing actually means. You know. So that's what I want you to now unpack on us, because according to what you are building here is that stop this thing of sales and marketing, because we always sales and marketing. You are saying to us, understand what marketing is.
Yes.
Do it right.
Yes.
Then the sales.
Yes.
The most this what you call, because when sales is done right, or
Yes.
when sales is flowing,
Yes.
actually you will then be saying, I have a business. You understand?
Yes.
But anytime where you have to push sales to happen,
Yeah.
as you're saying,
Yeah.
it's because of that first link. There's no
marketing.
There's no marketing.
Yeah.
Can you let's just unpack it there. You've touched the first part. I think it was clear enough.
Yes.
Then how will then sales, if that number one is done right, how
Yes.
will then sales gel in a nutshell?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest part of sales is about answering the demand and supply.
All right.
Question.
Yeah.
And is about, do you have what people want? You know, so that is just mainly the biggest part of sales.
Mm-hmm.
So marketing, I say when marketing is done right, sales flows easily.
Yeah.
And here's why I'm saying that. Purely because the question that I always ask is that, what makes people buy?
Okay.
What makes people buy? And correctly so, people don't just buy because they see an ad. You know, there's an aspect, there's a number of things that actually lead to people buying, but a large part of it is that, and it stems from this you know, it's a well-known concept that people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust.
All right.
So people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. So people buy from businesses they know, they like, and they trust. So and purely, you know, so do they know you as a business? You know, and you can ask quite a number within that you can break in quite a number of questions to say, you know, what
do they know about
what
you?
do they know about you? You know, do
they know you for what? For what?
Yes. You know, so you can actually answer a number of questions. And do they like you?
All right.
You know, and do they trust you? You know, what makes people like your business? What makes people like to come to your bakery? You know, it's more than just bread. You know, it's a refreshing environment.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to meet other people there.
Right.
So there's quite a number of things that you have to factor in to drive likability. You know, and then trust. You know, do they know that what they are going to get, what they're expecting? You know, the promise that you made as a business that we sell fresh bread, baked bread every morning. If that's a promise that you are making, do you meet that expectation? Is that so? That's the aspect of trust. So, but once you solidify that part, sales becomes it is, you don't have to persuade people to buy. Yeah, and I think that's where a large part of performance-driven marketing and the frustrations as well is that. And I think we spoke about this as well, as understanding that the sales cycle, the buyer cycle, you know, the buyer readiness, that people are usually at different stages in terms of buying decisions. So we are not taking that into consideration. So you know, so but when you then understand that people are generally at different stages of buying cycle, then it helps you position yourself differently in that aspect. But ultimately, you move from a situation where you are just chasing from one sale to another, from one sale to another, to having a consistent flow pipeline.
That's the frustration.
Yeah.
That's the frustration. And that's why I wanted us to dive deep into this, because at the end of the day, people feel like that's all there is. That,
Yes.
you know, I will forever have to, for this, my business to run.
Yes.
I'll forever have to part ways with this and this. But I really I don't see it coming back.
Right.
You understand? And maybe now that you're talking, I wanted, because to me, the essence of marketing,
yes,
and building a demand-driven
yes,
kind of business,
yes,
actually, that is actually building a demand. When you've done your marketing right, you
are generating your own demand.
Yeah, you're generating your own demand,
sure.
And you are also meeting these three aspects you just mentioned about sales, that you are known,
yes,
you are secondly liked, and
yes,
then you are
trusted. Yes.
And those points that you have just said, they form part of a brand, a strategy, a framework.
Yeah.
But now, according to you as well, it's how marketing is to be done.
Yeah.
Can you take us through can you link what you've just said with, because I just hear you in your words, I'm just hearing that's why then it's important for a business to be brand building conscious.
Sure. Yeah.
Because as you are saying, all these things falls through nicely,
yeah,
when they are strategized and unpacked correctly.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah. Look, as I said, the picture usually is like you'd see that different marketing activities, within a business are basically operating or functioning as silos. It's like there's a website that is a standalone there is social media platforms and content that's a standalone there. We have a signage that is a standalone there. We have, so there's just a lot of things and components that are just operating in silos, and that's the first problem. We want a system, and a system then connects each and every component of the business into a and that's when you have a brand. Because if you are a bakery business, previously we spoke about a restaurant, that the fact that you make the best dishes in town, that alone is not sufficient enough to actually make the business success. Because if a person walks into a 5-star rated restaurant and then served by a Michelin style chef, but the restaurant smells like a pigsty, I'm probably not even going to even enjoy that meal. I would probably won't even stay there to even wait for that meal to come through. So this is where now you see the part of brand. And when I'm talking marketing, is that that the value of the chef, the value that the chef brings on the table is equally important as the same value that the cleaner brings. Because if the cleaner doesn't come to part, the dirty floors,
regardless of
the disposition,
how exquisite and how exclusive the dish might be.
So that dispositions the brand and in the business, it throws the business off. So, and this is where we look at marketing not only as a function of sales, not only as a but more as a brand, because then there's quite a number of activities and things that needs to align as far as the business is concerned. So having that brand, developing a solid brand strategy will then help you connect all these components of a business to enable you to build a successful brand.
Yeah.
And in building a successful brand, it's all about doing something that is remarkable.
Mr. Mabusela, today you have really enlightened some of us, especially me,
Right.
In the manner that you have unpacked sales and marketing. And I think definitely I have to take you on again in another set. You've just stricken some interest there,
Right.
so that we can help businesses out
Yeah.
there understand all the necessary steps that are key to alleviate this kind of frustrations when it comes to sales and marketing. And lastly, do you feel that according to you, I'm just picking your brain now.
Okay.
I'm picking your brain. Do you feel that people sometimes become trapped in the notion of sales and marketing? They don't go beyond the terms. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've known marketing to mean I'm marketing my sales, my product or services. But the way you have unpacked it, it gave me a lot of sense of what marketing should be. And then there's people out there, we just know sales and marketing to be just actions that other people are doing, and we feel we have to do it just because other people are doing it.
Yes.
So do you feel that that's a perception, that's a prevailing perception out there, where people just do things because they're done by others? They've not sat down to actually unpack the true meaning and the true sense, looking at what their business requires. Because I feel that just because of a business, I'm running ads. People are running. Just because of other people are running ads, I have to run ads.
Yeah.
I have to just people are doing campaigns. I just get to be trapped into a campaign. I feel that, and then you come and ask me, what's happening? Are you doing sales and marketing? I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing sales and marketing because I'm doing ads. I'm running ads. I'm doing campaigns. But now, I just want to pick your brain on that. What's your take about what's out there when it comes to sales and marketing? I know that you have unpacked it differently, but I want to feel, what's the perception out there? What's your feel that is out there? What is your take on what is out there versus what needs to be happening?
Yeah. Well, I think as I've said, it also touched on it in the beginning. A large part of it is true in the sense that that is the prevailing perception. And as I said, you don't know what you don't know. So largely it's because of that's all that they know. But I must say that the obsession with performance driven, has brought us to where we are today. And that's because that's what we think, that there's money there, and to an extent some might argue that it's working for them, but fine. I think my stance and my approach would always be that I think, as I've said, that what is it that are we measuring? If the number of sales is what we are measuring, to say I've done this ad, I've done this campaign, and this is the amount of sales that I've generated. If that's what we are measuring, cool. But if trust is what we are measuring, if we are asking ourselves a different questions, instead of saying we are measuring ourselves with a number of sales, but rather if we ask ourselves a question and say, what I'm doing, or part of what we are doing, how or what is it helping our customer to achieve? What is it helping our customer to become? If we ask ourselves that kind of a question, I think we will come out with a different measuring stick, and therefore the kind of metrics that we'll be measuring will be a different thing. And that, for me, is a game changer.
There you have it, guys. I think we've come to an end. Your sales and marketing doesn't have to give you a nightmare as it currently is. There's just a way of doing it right. I think I've gotten my fair share of understanding. There's just a way of doing it right.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a way of doing it right, and I think it's a great reliever for businesses out there which feel that they're looking for a way out. You understand?
Yes.
You've talked of measuring. You need to measure your strategy, or measure your intended output. So you have to have measuring sticks towards your marketing or sales activities. You are unpacked the essence of marketing and how does it correlate with sales. You've just unpacked brand as well, the element of brand building there. You talked of trust. Another one I thought you were going to, but trust stems from the position that you've placed yourself in the mind of your customer. So you've touched on all the elements, but I think the question there about why is my sales and marketing frustrating, I think it's well unpacked. It doesn't have to be. There's just a way of doing it right, and once you can unlock that, then you are well in your way of having a successful sales and stemming from a well unpacked marketing strategies. Any final remarks?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to hear some feedback and some engagement. And just to because we've touched on quite a number of things that really would challenge the norm and the traditional way of doing things. But I'm very much confident in what we are saying and are sharing there, because we've got slips. We've got slips for that.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Join us again on another set that is coming up. Keep in touch, subscribe, and as you say, keep in touch. Ask questions. We are here for you guys. We're talking brand building. I think in a nutshell, that's what brand building is all about.